And once I get off the plane in Scotland, I need subtitles. It's very hard. What? That's how they can invent golf. They can have a couple of Guinness, and then the next thing you know, here's my idea for a sport. I knock a ball into a gopher hole. Oh, you mean like pool? No, forget pool. That was a straight stick. A little broken stick. I whack a ball into a gopher hole. Oh, you mean like croquet? Ah, no, not croquet. That's a sport. I put the hole hundreds of yards away. Oh, kind of like a bowling alley. Oh, no way. Away. I put stuff in the way like trees and bushes. So you whack the ball, and you're sitting there whacking away, and you feel like you're going to have a stroke. That's what we'll call it, because every time you hit the ball, you think you're going to die. And right near the end, they'll put a nice flat bit with a tiny flag to give you hope. And they'll put a pool and a sandbox to grab your ball. Do you do this one time? Oh, no, 18 damn times!
From Robin Williams to George Carlin.
I've got just the place for low-cost housing. I have solved this problem. I know where we can build housing for the homeless. Golf courses.
Golf catches a lot of flack. Let's start with this, all right? A 2018 report from USA Today Sports found and wrote, the amount of land being used for golf courses is about 2 million acres. Again, this is from 2018, so there are probably more. That is larger in size than the state of Delaware, but smaller than Connecticut, the USDA says. The miscellaneous land used for items such as golf courses, cemeteries, marshes, and deserts contains low economic value. I agree. Well, a study now has come out, and it shows that golf courses could not only hurt the homeless and really crush our water supply, but they also could cause Parkinson's. What do I mean? Let's hear from the researchers themselves. Brittany Shanowski, PhD, a research assistant professor in the Neuroepidemiology Research Program of the Department of Neurology at Barrow Neurological Institute, concluded that Parkinson's and golf courses, there may be a link. Now, it's important to know this is not just living near a golf course. That is certainly one of the factors. The study results imply that both vulnerable drinking water and airborne pollutant exposure may contribute to the risk of developing Parkinson's disease near golf courses. In the article, it reads at the very top, first paragraph, living within a mile of a golf course is associated with a 126% increased risk for Parkinson's disease, which they call PD in this article, possibly due to increased pesticide exposure, results of a population-based control study suggest. So, on May 8th, this study was published in the JAMA Network. It states, this case control study included patients with incident Parkinson's disease and matched controls from the Rochester Epidemiology Project from 91 to 2015. Data was analyzed between June and August of 2024. Another very important point for everyone to understand is these exposures, okay? Now, distance to golf courses, living in water service areas with a golf course, living in water service areas in vulnerable groundwater regions, living in water service areas with shallow municipal wells, and living in water service areas with a municipal well on a golf course. Here are the results. A total of 419 incident Parkinson's disease cases were identified. After adjusting for patient demos and neighborhood characteristics, living within a mile of a golf course was associated with that big number, 126% increased odds of developing Parkinson's disease compared with individuals living more than 6 miles away from a golf course. Individuals living within water service areas that we just went over with a golf course, of course, had nearly double the odds of Parkinson's disease compared with individuals in water service areas without a golf course, and 49% greater odds compared with individuals with private wells. I'm going to go over why The water wells and water supply is also being polluted in a moment. Additionally, individuals living in water service areas with a golf course in vulnerable groundwater regions had an 82% greater chance of developing PD compared with those in those non-vulnerable groundwater regions. Now, just think about a golf course, okay? What is the main method that they use to treat the entire area? It is pesticides. The putting greens, the fairways, full of pesticides. In the United States, pesticide application to golf courses can be up to 15 times higher compared with countries in Europe. We know this because there have been study after study after study on how the United States, in my view, does not care if we get infected by pesticides. Those commercials about, treating your lawns full of pesticides, all of those products. And pesticides could eventually lead to very, very terrible health diagnoses among the electorate. Furthermore, pesticides applied to golf courses can leach into the groundwater and contaminate drinking water, they would write. So the pesticides are getting in, and then it's coming back to you, and you're putting it back in your body, potentially if you are living near a golf course. According to the CDC, Utah saw the highest rate of Parkinson's mortality at 12.4%, while California saw the highest number of deaths with 4,289, according to the United States CDC. I will say, obviously, California has a lot more people than Utah, but still, every death is terrible. Dr. Michael O'Con, part of the National Medical Advisor Parkinson's Foundation, and a medical advisor, would tweet his thoughts. It's a bit lengthy, so stay with me. This is not about golf. It's about pesticides, environmental exposures, and preventable risks hiding in plain sight. National Medical Advisor for the Parkinson's Foundation, O'Con, would tweet, Parkinson's cases are exploding. We now face 11.8 million cases globally, and the numbers are climbing fast, he would write. Despite this reality, we still spend just 2 to 3 cents of every Parkinson's dollar on prevention. That has to change. He would add, the new JAMA Network open study offers a offers a warning we can't ignore. Living within 1 to 3 miles of a golf course more than doubles your odds of developing PD. Drinking water from municipal wells near courses in vulnerable groundwater areas may be a risk. And then he would go on to say, who will it affect? Everyone. Everyone will be affected. Families, health systems, economies, society. He says the science is accumulating. The signals are clear. Now we need the will and a Parkinson's plan. I was going through my notes and I thought there was something that I remember about this. And one of them is, it's a little different, but NFL players, RIP Steve Mungo McMichael, he died of ALS. There have been some studies linking playing football to ALS. And one factor is the hitting and the damage that a brain takes, and then there's also, and the body takes, and then there's also the amount of pesticides that are in those fields. The second is, I remember a streaker, and I think it was at the Phoenix Open, I want to say, who took off his shirt, belly flopped into a pond. And this pond is, like many other ponds on golf courses, thoroughly, severely contaminated. And I actually found a statement from the Scottsdale Fire Department captain, whose name is Dave Folio. And he said the water is atrocious. His quote, "Trust me, people, stay out of the water. It's got pesticides. It's got chemicals that run off from the golf course." So even he knew that this was a problem for one streaker. I need to be clear. This is a developing study. It's a developing story, but it is something to pay attention to. And I know those properties are affluent, okay? It's fairly obvious. But considering what we have learned about Tesla and how they are affecting neighborhoods and polluting neighborhoods, it's really interesting how these for-profit models come at the hands and well-being of everyone else. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.